Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to these videos. Please feel free to leave a message below the video, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. My fast cooking system contains 4 components, that is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. Now, when you apply these 4 attributes, it is possible for you to make home cooking practical, efficient, creative, and fun, and so that you can make home cooking spontaneous and intuitive. And this is exactly what happened to Joseph. He showed me that he had stir-fried a tuna dish, which I was quite surprised because actually I have never stir-fried tuna myself. So I decided I'm going to try this when I find some tuna on sale in my local supermarket. Now this is a good demonstration that instead of using a recipe, what Joseph did is that he used templates to prepare this tuna dish. So first of all is that he is going to cut the tuna into small pieces. The template for cooking this tuna actually is very similar to all other stir-fry dishes. And by cutting it into small pieces, just like he would be doing with salmon, which I have done in the past, this will allow him to have much better control how much he wants each pieces to be done. And of course, by cutting them into small pieces, he can portion the amount of tuna to what he would like to use in his dish. Now, I have always been a strong advocate is that to use meat as a condiment in a vegetable dish rather than as a main ingredient. This will allow you to enhance your vegetable consumption. Okay, I'm going to replicate how Joseph cooked this dish. Basically, he used template-based cooking, and the method he used is very similar to fried salmon as well as other type of proteins. First of all, he heat up the oil to its smoking point and let it smoke for about 15 to 20 seconds to create a non-stick cooked surface. And then he add the tuna piece by piece onto the surface of the wok. And the idea is that this oil temperature will allow him to sear the salmon rapidly. And he want to only cook the salmon lightly, and one of the best way for him to do that is to sear the salmon first. As you can see that it seared the salmon really well, even in less than about 30 seconds. Now the next step is important because he wants to then slow down the cooking temperature. And the best way to do that, in addition to turning down the heat of the burner, he adds vegetables directly to the wok. He's going to use some carrots as well as some portobello mushrooms. And this is followed by the addition of some zucchini and yellow squash. Now, once you add vegetable to the salmon, the temperature of the oil will cool down almost immediately. Now, this is really important because he did not want to overcook the tuna. And the best way to do this is that by lower the temperature of the wok. And of course, he also turned down the heat. Now, as you can see that the tuna hold together really well because they have been seared. And the searing of the tuna will provide them with the texture that he is looking for. Now, as he lowered the temperature, he knows that he is now cooking the entire tuna in a much slower fashion. And this slow cooking will allow the tuna to cook and retain its moisture. And this is followed by addition of some cherry tomatoes that he actually grew in his garden, which in my case was given to me by a friend of mine. I sliced the cherry tomatoes in half, and by cooking the cherry tomatoes together with all the other ingredients will actually create a nice tomato sauce. So the key of this approach is very similar to other approach that I have used in cooking salmon as well as other type of protein. I add a little bit of oyster sauce to help me to make the dish more interesting. I only add a small amount of oyster sauce because the dish already going to be highly flavorful with different kind of vegetable that already included in this dish. Now this is really an excellent way for you to eat more vegetables, because this will allow you to use the tuna as part of the ingredients of the dish rather than as the main ingredients. The tuna can be now served as a condiment. Next, I'm going to remove the tuna from the dish. The reason is that, first of all, I do not want the tuna to cook any further. And secondly is that I'm going to display the tuna on top of the other vegetables when I'm ready to plate the dish. Okay, as you can see, cooking this dish is extremely fast, and the vegetable that I choose to cook this dish also cook very fast. So now they are all cooked precisely to the texture that I want. Now this might take a little bit of practice to reach the texture that you like. I'm going to first of all plate the dish with all the vegetables. Now the vegetables turn out to be really colorful. I have learned from my friend Maureen, and she is a graphic designer. After she adopted my fast cooking system, I noticed that her dish is absolutely beautiful. She finds that the advanced prepping of different food ingredients to her is almost like the paint on a palette. All the different colors of vegetable will allow her to create really interesting presentations. So on top of that, she also finds interesting plates so she can display her vegetables and her dishes. To me, food is both has visual pleasure in addition to their taste. By making your food look beautiful, it will actually allow you to have a much greater sensory experience. Your culinary experience can be enhanced easily by enhancing the visual appeal of your dishes. So as you can see here, not only the food ingredients have different color, but they also cut in different geometrical shape to make them more interesting and appealing. Okay, now the final step is for me to layer the tuna on top of the salmon. So this allows me to display the tuna in a much more interesting fashion rather than combine them with the dish. I find that this will help me to appreciate the different components as well as the ratio in the dish. So quite often in the future, I might be able to change the distribution a little bit differently. Now the dish is done. The final step is that to add some garnish to the dish. Now garnish turn out to be really important because they tend to enhance the flavor of the dish. But on top of that, if you use garnish with interesting both color as well as shape and form, it will make the dish more interesting. So in this case, I'm going to garnish it with a little bit of a scallion. Now this scallion is the bottom part of the scallion, and they create great onion flavor for the dish. But on top of that, they are very interesting to enhance the visual appeal of the dish. So as you can see here, this dish is extremely fast to cook. Like everything else, once you understand the basic principles, which is the fast cooking system, it will allow you to take advantage of different ingredients that you already have. By using them in different combinations, it will give you entirely new presentations that you might not know before. Now, I could have substituted other ingredients to go into this dish, but because I happen to have zucchini, yellow squash, carrots, as well as tomatoes and mushroom that I have on hand, it makes it easy for me to just simply use them. Now, next time when I cook this dish, I might cook it differently. And this is the advantage of template-based cooking. A basic template allows you to create almost infinite variations. And people always talk about the health benefit of home cooking, and I will not dispute it at all. But to me, actually, home cooking plays even a greater important role in creating the type of food that you love and enjoy that you will not be able to get otherwise. And when you use the fast cooking system with flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking, you take your home cooking in your control. And once you learn some of these basic aspects, you will be able to create almost infinite possibilities. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.